but you got to walk in obedience and make sure do it with your spouse. If God told them to do something, you gotta trust. That's all we come to say. Trust the God. Trust the God that is in your spouse. Trust the God that you all serve together, and walk in obedience. I don't know who this is for, but take a leap of faith and just walk in obedience.
Listen.
And as you begin to walk, you will begin to see things manifest. As you begin to walk, you'll begin to see things unfold. As you begin to walk, you'll begin to smile, because you will be like, whoa, thank God I make that step, eh?
Tune in for a minute and let's talk about true love. Cause once guys in the mix, ain't no way we ever split up. Never giving up, even if the road gets tough. Tap in with Kingdom Marriage Podcast. We got that game of faith, hope, and love. Tune in for a minute and let's talk about true love. Cause once guys in the mix, ain't no way we ever splitting up. Never giving up, even if the road gets tough. Tap in with Kingdom Marriage Podcast. We got that game of faith, hope, and love.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Hey, what's up? What's up? It's Jas and Naj again, back here on the Kingdom Marriage Podcast.
Woo!
Yeah, I was supposed to. Yeah, I always skip that part. I don't know why. So what I want to talk about, what we want to talk about today, the direction I feel like God is leading us to this today is trusting your partner. But not just that regular trust. You trust your partner so much that you could trust the God in your partner. And the only way that is able to happen if your partner has a relationship with God.
And you know that. And
Right.
you could see that. And there's fruit to show that he has a relationship with God.
Now, I place that and I agree with that. But to be the devil's advocate, I don't advocate for the devil. So let me use another word.
Yeah.
to be another perspective, bring another perspective to the table, a godly perspective at least, because there's biblical evidence that this happened. So, what about the partner that don't have a relationship with God, but God still decided to speak to?
That's true. Because God can use anyone.
Anybody, not who we see fit or not who we know fit, but then that's why it's not just important for your partner to have a relationship, but it's important for you to have a relationship with God, because then even though that person may not be saved necessarily, you know the communication and you know the language of God.
Yeah.
So you understand the way God works.
Yeah.
And you would be able to hear his voice through that person when they speak.
Yeah. You that's where your discerning, I would say, will start to kick in.
Yes, discernment. Yeah.
You will start to be sensitive to know, okay, God, you told me this at the beginning of the year, and my husband come right here. I never shared with my husband, I never shared with my wife, but now you're using him, you're using her to now repeat the same thing. I notice you. I notice you. It's like confirmation.
Right.
So now, will you now trust? Because sometimes we get confirmation after confirmation, and
we still don't do nothing about it, because we still waiting on I don't know. We waiting on God to crack the sky and say, "You listen, go that way."
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't know what's the excuse of us keep on waiting on a confirmation after confirmation, or hearing the confirmation and not taking heed. Could it be that we don't know the voice of God as well as we think we do?
Or could it be our faith
and our flesh?
Because
when faith collides against flesh, flesh often wins. But when we take our flesh out of the picture and
And
just
allow our
have
faith to work.
yeah,
Even when that thing seems to be long or take long, you will begin to say, God, you said it.
you said it.
So if you said it, you will do it.
Yeah,
And the confirmation just come as it's coming. So just be patient and wait.
yeah,
But then again, you have to trust. And when you trust that voice, you also have to believe and have faith. Because sometimes things don't happen right away. Sometimes things don't happen right there. Okay, you got this word and you believe in something to happen within that week and it don't happen. You believe that God ain't gonna do it no more. But that ain't what he's saying. Trust.
trust.
And don't just trust the person, trust the God that's in them. Trust the God that you serve. I remember one time, my husband, this was earlier this year, when he said, hey, God told me, I could be able to share that, right?
Go ahead, yeah,
God
sure.
told me to stop working. And I, as a wife, you would be like, what? Stop working? How the bills is gonna get paid? What you talking about stop working and our children are in school? What you talking about stop working? You got to be crazy. You sure you hearing from God? You sure you hearing from God? Babe, you sure you hearing from God?
Hey, and when you hear that question so much times, you start to be like, I think so.
You would start to doubt
Doubt
God.
yourself. Now hold on, you gotta make sure you hear from God now.
You begin to doubt. But guess what? When he said that, the Holy Spirit had already spoken to me concerning, and I was already discerning. I could already sense it. So when he said it, I'm like, yeah, I know you heard from God. I know you heard from God. But sometimes people be in their flesh.
Yeah.
God is already speaking to you, is already showing you, and you still allowing your flesh. You got to shut down your flesh sometimes.
Because how I listen to my flesh,
You would have walked in disobedience.
I would have walked in
You would
disobedience.
have walked in disobedience.
Not only walk in disobedience, but I probably would have been in the same state I was in,
Yeah.
not elevating. This podcast.
This
probably,
podcast would maybe wouldn't. This
Would not-
podcast would not have been here.
No.
When you begin to walk in obedience and trust God,
I tell you.
you begin to see things open up. You begin to see things unlock. You begin to see blessed man. You begin to see blessings start to unfold right before your very eyes. Can I tell you? Even though when he said stop working, and I already said if that's what God say, He's gonna provide.
Yes.
And never once I saw God did not provide. Never once we saw God did not come true for this family.
And we ain't saying that it didn't get tough. We ain't saying that it wasn't hard.
Oh, it was
But
hard.
I'm saying, fourth quarter, God come through in the fourth quarter. Look like the game about to over. Look like we about to be down to nothing. Like we about to lose. And he come back and he just rain on the whole fourth quarter and we win the game. Showed up every single time. May not been the time we expected, the time that we would have liked, but he was teaching us a moment in those waiting times. Would you be patient? Will you trust me? Will you still have faith? Will you still continue to serve me? Will you still pray? Will
Even
you still
in those hard
Will you still
times.
go to church? Will you still be obedient? Will you still
Even in those
do
hard
all of that?
times.
In the hard times.
In the hard times, will you? In the hard times, will you still trust? Even when things don't seem like it adding up, will you still trust? Even when things seems like it going crazy and you trying to figure like, God, you said this and why this don't look like it's adding up. Look beyond the natural and tap into the spiritual. My God.
And that's what it was for us.
Honestly.
We had to look. Hey, and you know we always use this term from when we learned it in church. You gotta look beyond the bushes.
You gotta
Look beyond the bushes.
look beyond the bushes.
Got to look beyond the bushes, because if you just look at the bush, if you just look at the weeds, You wouldn't want to go there, but you gotta look beyond. Beyond.
Beyond.
You gotta look beyond. You gotta see.
And looking
You gotta
beyond
see-
calls for faith.
And it comes right. It calls for faith, but you gotta see past that. And sometimes past that still look the same, but you gotta understand, like okay, for instance, when you building a house, they show you property, a flat surface, or sometimes it has the weeds on it, and they gotta get the tractor and the whatever other tractor excavator and
Push
push
everything
the
down.
bush down. Then they gotta smooth off that property, and then you still look there. There's no house there, but you gotta build. So you gotta look beyond the bush. You gotta look beyond the nothing, the space of nothing, and vision. Use the vision that God has given you, and build that right on there.
So what would you say to that one, that couple and whoever, the spouse or the wife, might say, hey, God told me that we need to move to a different church. And you, as the next spouse, looking at them like, what? Our church is a good church. What you meaning God told? So how would you encourage them? Or what would you tell them, knowing that what God has spoken to you, what God did through you and me? What would you encourage them and say to them?
A move of God is never an easy move. Let me tell you that. Because in the process of God moving you, in the process of all of that, of you being obedient, He's still teaching you obedience.
Yeah.
Because it's good to be obedient when it's comfortable. It's good to be obedient when you can add up everything and everything makes sense. It's good to be obedient then. But when everything is just, in a tornado, in a windstorm, and you confused, you don't know your left from your right, will you be obedient then? So my word to you, if God said it, do it and stay obedient even when it's hard,
Yeah.
even when it's rough. Because had we turn around, had we stopped being obedient, had we given up, we wouldn't have been here today in this spot right now. We
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to see the hand of God the
Yeah.
way we did. We're not able to know that God could pay a bill because we don't trust Him to pay the bill.
My God.
We rather, let's scrap. We gotta ask this one. We gotta do this one. Oh, we ain't no boy. I ain't even my job, boy. Because God, boy, I
I
no
know.
fool there.
Oh, boy.
I say it, but I ain't stupid. We say that. We say that. We say that.
But what I would say, if God, you know God, how God speak to you. If God tell you to do something, if He said to do it, and you will know it's the voice of God. Oh, what if they don't know if it's their voice or God's voice? Just show that out there. But you will know, if you know the God that you serve and you know how He speaks, you would know it's His voice and you walk in obedience. God in this season are looking for people that will walk in obedience. You will walk in obedience, not caring what others will have to say in your ear. Sometimes you got to shut them down. You got to close them ears up from other noise that are out there and focus. That's why it's so important for you and your spouse to be on one accord. Because when you are on one accord, you begin to move in sync. When you are on one accord, nothing can be able to break y'all. Nothing. I don't care how tough it may be. It will not break your.
See, because God is wrapping this right here.
He's like a chain. He's like a lock. And nothing, but you got to walk in obedience and make sure do it with your spouse. If God told them to do something, you got to trust. That's all we come to say. Trust the God. Trust the God that is in your spouse. Trust the God that you all serve together. And walk in obedience. I don't know who this is for. But take a leap of faith and just walk in obedience.
Listen.
And as you begin to walk, you will begin to see things manifest. As you begin to walk, you'll begin to see things unfold. As you begin to walk, you'll begin to smile because you'll be like, whoa, thank God I make that step, eh? I would have missed all of this. I would have missed all of this.
I'm laughing because I'm looking at this Bible verse in Exodus 19.
You gotta give them the scriptures.
Exodus 19 verse 5. Now if you obey me fully and keep my covenant,
My God.
then out of all nations you will be my treasured
My
possession. Now, I don't know about y'all, right? We talking about a God. We talking about God.
Excuse me.
Right? But if I have a treasured possession that I hold dearly, that I love, why would I let it get lost? Why would I let it get hurt? Why would I let it get thrown away? Why would I let it be out there living in the streets? Why?
Ooh, that's good.
So if we take care of our treasured possession,
Yeah.
how much will your heavenly Father
wow.
take care of his?
Treasure possession.
Come on, man.
Come
But
on with this
it
word, sir.
only works if you're obedient.
Obedient. That's the key.
Only when you are obedient, he looks at you and says, look at my treasured
My
possession.
God. And with that, I will take care of that. I will shield that. I will preserve that. I will keep that.
And okay, let me take it to the bar. I know that's crazy, right? Let me take it to the bar.
You want to take me to the bar?
No,
Oh.
let me take this.
That's okay.
Let me take this to the bar, right? When you walk in a bar, you see the regulars. You know, I don't know much of the rum names, but I can be real. You know that I'm right. But I do know the top class ones. You would see the
Moet or something.
the Moet, the Douce, whatever the top levels of they'll be top. They call them top shelf.
Okay.
So you'll be able to look up high because that's their treasured possessions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why, if you in a bar, man-made thing, right? They place their treasured possessions up high.
Up high.
What do you think with your heavenly Father?
Jesus. My God.
So you think you just gonna be low
He will hold you and keep you in the
Hold you.
palm of his hand.
and you will excel.
Woo.
You will excel and excel on top levels.
Woo.
Top
Jeez,
levels.
top level.
So
That's the price with obedience.
I'm speaking into you and your marriage today.
I know whoever ran across this
whoever
video.
ran across this video. You know what? I'm speaking to you.
Yeah.
You are about to receive a top shelf blessing.
My God, I received that. I don't know about y'all, but I received that.
Top shelf blessing. They gonna have to unlock the case for this blessing for you.
They got to get the keys.
The keys.
You know, some is been locked up.
Because they tried. Okay. Let me put it. We went to buy milk. See, I'm gonna talk this talk. We went to buy baby milk the other day. We couldn't get the baby milk off the counter because they had it locked in a cage because this is valuable. So valuable where people started to steal them and take them, and a lot been moving.
Yeah.
So they put it in a case, a glass case.
Yeah.
And the set that isn't in a glass case, where is it?
Up high.
Up high, top shelf.
Yeah.
So where no one could reach.
No one could reach.
So God, listen to me. If we are treasuring and protecting the possessions that we think are valuable to us,
You can imagine what
when God looks at us as valuable to Him,
Yeah.
what he will do to keep it. When people spend thousands of money on a car, when they spend the top cars in the year, they buy car covers or it's garage kept. You think he can have us out there on the streets?
Gotta be crazy.
God will listen to me. I'm telling y'all, top. If y'all don't have nothing I say today, top shelf blessings. Be obedient. Stay obedient. Seek Him. Fast. Pray together.
Worship together.
Worship together. Listen, it's no time to get frustrated. This isn't the time to get frustrated.
yeah.
This isn't the time to let your flesh act up.
And not
just
only
because
that,
you
the
don't wanna do
enemy
something.
wants you to get frustrated because the blessings that is about to come your way. The enemy wants you to give up because the blessings that are coming your way. The enemy wants you to throw in the towel because the blessings that are coming your way. So we came here on this day to encourage you.
Ooh.
Woo! We came here to encourage you to don't give up. Trust God because there is a blessing on the way. You have to trust Him. Trust the voice that you are hearing. Trust God and watch God.
You gotta trust Him.
My
Got to trust Him.
Woo.
Gotta
Listen.
trust Him. Okay. And be careful, little as
what you hear. That could mess up the whole move.
Careful.
That
Careful.
could mess up the whole.
Careful, little as what you hear. Be careful, little mouth, what you tell. Who you tell.
Who you tell? Who you tell? Because not everyone you tell your dreams, not everyone you share your vision with, want to see you happy. So be careful. When God said to move in silence, you best move in silence. When God said to shut your mouth, you best shut it up.
Let me say this. God shows you one way it could work, right? And then the world tries to tell you 1,000 ways why it can't.
Right?
Just remember, our mats isn't God mats. His one way can outpower the thousands of reasons why it can't happen.
My God.
They said this could not. But God said, yes, and this is how. And now look at it.
Wow.
They said, my ministry as a gospel artist couldn't happen. It won't last long.
Because you're a rap. Because of
I
rap.
do rap and oh, you young, you went into nothing. And thousands of reasons why. But God gave me one reason to keep going. And I held on to that one reason.
What God told you.
Listen to me.
What I know with me, God has shared so many words I can hold on to. The Bible itself, the promises of God Himself, and even the logos and the Rhema word I can hold on to. What God has spoken to you.
What did He tell you?
Trust and believe that with all your heart. Go back to that word.
Gotta go back.
Go back to that thing. Try it again, because if God said it, He will do it. Listen to me. Lord, we just come here to give you a little few points, but God decided to do a whole new thing, and we are open for it. Because I don't know who this can save, but I believe it's for someone. Maybe 10 of you, maybe 20 of you, but it's for someone. So trust God.
Just trust Him.
Trust Him.
Just trust Him.
Trust Him.
So-
Trust Him.
That's it. Kingdom Marriage Podcast. Listen, I don't have nothing else to add.
I have nothing else to say.
So y'all be encouraged.
Yeah.
Have a safe.
I'll say.
Bye.